Day beers. I wish.
That'd be morning beers.
Yeah, it would be morning beers.
10:30
Yeah.
on a Wednesday.
Yeah. I
mean,
wish.
there's football today.
There is football. Yeah, it's almost like a Sunday. We have matinee football.
Yeah, which I probably won't be able to watch a second of.
No. So that is not a beer. It is a sparkling ice plus caffeine. Not a sponsor, but they could be. They probably should be. The amount of money,
buy enough of them.
The money that we spend on these fucking things.
Luckily, they're cheap.
Yeah.
$1.25.
Yeah, I get them 4 for $5. So.
$1.25. You know what Market Basket you don't have to buy 4?
Yeah.
But they put the pricing like that so that you will buy 4?
Yes. Yep.
But other stores you do have to buy 4?
Other stores, yeah, like Stop and Shop, I believe, is one.
Not
of those.
always.
Yeah.
See, Stop and Shop and Shaw's and Big Y. Big Y is the most confusing.
Yeah.
Because they have a card, but some stuff's on sale regardless of if you have a card.
And then
but sometimes you have to have the card.
Big Y is almost like BJ's in a certain sense, where they have a price for peasants and then they have a price for their card holders.
Well, yeah, so I mean...
So there's like 2 different but everything in the store is like that.
Oh, is there?
I mean, maybe I'm being ridiculous saying everything in the store, but I'd be willing to bet at least 70% of the store has 2 different prices on it.
Yeah, but that's just the same as a sale. Because you have to have like a Stop and Shop card to...
I guess, yeah, maybe if you look at it that way.
Yeah, it's just the same thing as a sale.
Yeah.
But sometimes Big Y stuff is if you have the card, it's on sale. If you don't have the card, it's on sale. Like,
right.
Big Y is so fucking confusing.
Yeah. Huh.
And the thing like with Stop and Shop is like they don't care if you have a card or not. You just ask them to put one in.
Right.
Big Y, I don't know what they like with that.
No, they won't do that. I've never been asked.
Yeah.
Like no one's ever really done
Yeah,
that.
you either give it to them or you don't.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I did know that about Market Basket. They put the prices like that, but you don't have to purchase that number.
Yeah, so it's you buy 4, not 1.
Yeah, because they'll do that sometimes instead of. They change all that. Obviously, prices change all the time, but they'll do like the liter seltzer of Polar things. Sometimes they'll say like 99 cents each, and then sometimes they'll do 10 for 10.
Yeah, or sometimes they do 5 for 4.
5 for 4. Yeah. Or 4 for 3. Sometimes is a thing too.
I used to know what all those decimals were.
Yeah.
Not anymore.
Yeah. No, I mean it's.
Well, dude, it would be like $1.67, and someone goes, "Oh, I thought that was 5 for 3." Like, yeah, 5 for 3 is $1.67.
Yeah. Do the math.
Huh? Yeah. I mean, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah. So, and people will try and do anything for.
No, people are just dumb. They're not even trying to pull one on you.
Yeah.
Sometimes they are, but.
Yeah.
You can tell when they're trying to pull one on you. Oh, I thought that was something else. Hold on. And I hit the blinking light.
Yeah.
Like, yep, just be a second. And then like they're like, yep, gotta wait for someone to walk over here. So that would be the thing.
Yeah.
Is if I knew someone was fucking off or like fucking ridiculous.
Yeah.
The procedure for a price check is supposed to be light goes on.
Yeah.
Starts blinking.
Yeah.
When it starts blinking, the CDH is supposed to come over to you.
Right.
They then ask, oh, what do you need? So then they're supposed to take the product, go back to their phone, call grocery, who never answers. Never.
Yeah.
Call grocery. Someone from grocery is supposed to go check and call back with the thing. But here's the thing about grocery. So they never answer.
Right.
But if you do catch one of them and ask them something, they'll just tell you, no, that's 2 for 5. I'm like, oh, well, I had a customer say it's 2 for 4 this week. No, it's 2 for 5.
Yeah.
And then the customer then goes back to the aisle, sees that it was 2 for 4. They fucked up because they didn't pull a tag or something, and then has to go to customer service to get a fucking get one of the items for free and the other item for $2 instead of $2.50. And that's supposed to be like the most streamlined process.
All of that for 50 cents.
Yeah. So sometimes once I throw that blinking light on, they're like, oh, never mind. Okay, do you still want it? Yeah, I still want it.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. Or the best is like, well, then I don't want it then. All right, cool. Like you were in it to save $1.
Yeah.
All right, cool. You can't spare the $1. Do you need $1? I'll give you $1.
Yeah.
Like if you really want it, like if the only reason why you wanted it is because you were gonna save $1, I mean, just fucking throw it out. Like it's not worth it.
It's funny, we were talking about this at work with like Chris was saying, he's like, he goes, sometimes I just feel bad. I have so many bags of produce. He's like, that's got to be so annoying just to like hit all the numbers. I'm like, honestly, you get used to it, and you get a pretty good idea outside of like apples and pears because they have different varieties.
Right.
But like you pretty much get the PLUs and you just kind of rifle through it, and it's like usually when you're working, you're not going anywhere anyway, so it's like, whether you have fucking 400 bags or
there was one time
2, I just don't care.
I was buying asparagus.
4080.
It was like a young kid who was like running shit through, and he left his hand on the thing because the thing is a scale. It's a scale, and he left his hand on it, and it was like $7.60 or whatever for like a thing of asparagus that wasn't that big, and I was like, I hate to be this guy, but I think that asparagus was rang up wrong. He's like, oh, what do you want? Go back. And he goes, oh, yeah, and like he like took his hand off, and then but he had to do the thing where he flips the light on.
Yeah.
The person has to come over. They have to do a void.
Yeah.
And then the person was there and goes, why'd this happen? And he goes, oh, I left my hand on it. And then so I felt bad that like now the fucking head person is like, well, this kid's a fucking retard. So it's like, but at the end of the day, like I'm not paying $7.60 for fucking asparagus. Because that would, my reaction to that would be, if that's how much it actually costs, I don't want it. Take it off. I don't want fucking almost $8 for asparagus.
Yeah,
fuck off.
Especially when asparagus is what, $1.80.
Yeah, yeah. It's like 89 cents a pound or something, like whatever the fuck it is.
No, actually, asparagus is kind of expensive per pound. It's just not that heavy.
Yeah, no.
It's asparagus.
Yeah, that happened to me a while ago, and I was like, man, I hate to do this to you, but
Yeah, the best is when you start buying weird produce. Like you start getting weird peppers.
yeah.
So like
Just ring it. Sometimes they just ring it up as whatever they think it is.
Yeah, so there's two ways to do it. Is depending on how I used to be feeling. Because there would be times where I'm like, all right, well, whatever. It's either free or I don't care. Or I'm like, oh man, I'm taking every second. Like the longer that was the thing. Like the longer my line got, the slower I went.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, oh, what kind of pepper is this? And then, so sometimes the Cubanelle peppers, people call them Italian green peppers.
Yeah.
Like, oh, it's Italian green. Like, start flipping through the book. And in my head, I'm like, yep, this is a Cubanelle. Like, I didn't see Italian green. Is there another name for it, you think? Oh, I don't know. I start looking around. Hey, you guys know what Italian green peppers are? Yeah, they're Cubanelles. Oh, why didn't you say that?
Next. Yeah, like I've done, I've gotten the Serrano peppers before. Yeah. And they
have another name too.
Yeah,
Serranos do.
They ring them up as jalapenos.
Yeah.
Because they can't be bothered. Or they look very similar.
Yeah.
The Serranos I think are longer and skinnier. Jalapenos are a little bit more chody.
Yeah.
But like whenever I would get those, they just ring them up as jalapenos, either because they thought they were, or they just didn't know the difference, or they just don't care. They don't give a fuck.
I think we used to also have like a mixed peppers thing. Yeah. But the problem with mixed peppers is they were more expensive than most varieties of peppers.
To cover for the not giving a fuck.
Yeah. Fucking dumb as fuck.
Although, what I will say, going back to the sparkling ices,
I was just thinking, how do we get there?
As much as I enjoy the sparkling ices, the new blue can that they came out with, not good when it comes to ringing it up. Every time I've gotten it, it doesn't scan. Every time I've gotten it so far, like they run through in the blue. No, that's not true. The purple also is new. So they have a new blue and purple style can. If you're watching on the YouTube show, you can see here. this is green, so this one is not the new label. But the new label, the barcode doesn't scan. Because every time when it goes through, the kid just kind of like fucking goes like this a bunch of times, and then they has to fucking look at it, and he does one of these. Like you have to turn it sideways in order to see it, and then they have to like type in the number, the PLU. So, just food for thought.
I didn't even notice. I think I bought one last week.
Yeah.
Maybe I just had a competent. No, I didn't. Competent grocery store worker. Imagine that.
Yeah. So, I don't know. Sparkling ice should definitely sponsor us. Who owns it? Is it Polar? Is this a Polar product?
No, Finn had those. Oh wait, does Finn work for Polar?
Finn works for Polar. Yeah.
He's still at Polar. Oh, Vinny doesn't work for Polar anymore.
Right.
Finn still does.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he was at Blue Coast, and then he went to Polar.
Oh yeah.
Because Vinny was at Polar, and then Vinny left and went to Pepsi.
That's what I was like. I was thinking. I'm like, one of them left.
Yeah, soda jerks. Yeah. So, that's interesting.
Not really.
Yeah. So I meant to bring this up on the last show, but Vinny was here and he was severely intoxicated. So we were kind of limited into what we could actually cover. So if anybody's listening that listened to the last show, whoops, you knew what you were getting into.
Well, that's why at the very end we cut the mics.
Yeah.
Video was still going. Vinny, did I ruin it?
Yeah. Yeah, I put that on our Instagram page at Sarcasm Speaks Pod. It's just Vinny sitting there. Did I ruin that? And we just started laughing. Like, no, not at all. You're good, man. But anyway, like I said, you knew what you're getting into with Vinny. So again, this is kind of older news, but whatever. I wanted to talk about it. There was an Iranian nuclear scientist.
I can't believe you didn't bring this up when he was here.
Yeah. That was killed by a remote-controlled weapon. His name was Mohsen Fakhrizadeh. Mohsen Fakhrizadeh was the Iranian nuclear scientist. Killed by a remote-controlled weapon. So... he was mortally wounded when his car was sprayed with bullets in the town of Absard, east of Tehran, however the fuck you say it. During the attack, a bomb in a Nissan pickup truck is also reported to have been exploded. So they essentially kind of like sent I think it was a drone. They said it's a remote-controlled weapon, or weapons controlled by satellite. So I'm assuming that means drone. And then they also had a car bomb just in case the drone didn't get him. That's kind of weird.
Is it though?
Well, I mean, it kind of reminds me of like the beginning of like an action movie. Like there's a nuclear scientist that's fucking killed in the Middle East, and then it leads to some crazy shit. Whether it's like Jason Bourne or fucking, I don't know, Iron Man. Isn't that also how Iron Man started?
James Bond.
Yeah. But I don't know. Now everyone's pointing at Israel. And Israel's like, I don't know what you're talking about. It wasn't us. So I have no fucking clue. But now Iran is kind of like pissed. And the reason why I think it's relatively significant is if Iran does think it's Israel and then they go after Israel, well,
Trump won't be there to make peace.
Yeah, well, they already did sign a peace deal because we know those peace deals mean a lot.
Yes. That
piece of paper is really gonna, oh man, we can't attack this country. We signed a piece of paper that said we wouldn't do it. It's a large deterrent to war in the Middle East. Because that country is very calm. That region of the world is very calm. They all get along so well. This could be interesting. I don't know what's going to happen after this. But if Iran does have enough information that they think it really was Israel, And despite how many times Israel says, I don't know what you're talking about, it wasn't us. I don't know if they call that a violation of the peace treaty and then they start going after each other. Shit could get kind of wild because both Iran and Israel have nuclear weapons. Maybe that's how 2021 will kick off. Remember we kicked off 2020 with World War III? The potential of World War III. That's how we started.
Are we in syndication yet?
That's how we started the year, yeah. Maybe it's a glitch in the simulation. It's proof that we are living in a simulation.
We're definitely living in a simulation.
When we get into 2021 and we have the same thing, imagine we have the same shit over and over again now, forever. It's just Groundhog Day, but
we're
like
skipping.
A year.
Skipping.
The Sims. The Sims disc is fucking skipping in the old computer tower. Yep. Did computers even use CDs anymore? Like CD-ROMs? Like, I know Mac, like Apple, doesn't even have a disk drive on their laptops.
No, there's no need.
Yeah, everything is just online. It's cloud-based now.
Yeah, like that. We used to use CDs to transfer files.
Yeah.
No need for that anymore.
No. Talk about like something that really never lasted. Because even like as shitty as they were, the floppy disk was around from like the 80s until like 2000. Ish. And then right around 2000 is when the CDs came out. And then CDs really only lasted like 8 years.
Yeah.
10 years at most. And then everyone was like, yeah, those still suck.
Well, even think about it. So it's like, even like music CDs.
Yeah.
Dude, MP3 players were out in like 04.
Yeah. Yeah. And
so it just took a matter of time for the iTunes store to become a thing.
Right. Because iPods came out in like 2006, I think, roughly.
Yeah, they might have been sooner than that.
Because the first iPhone
come out in 07.
Yeah, I think the first iPhone was 07 or 08. So maybe the iPod was around 05, 06 then. So yeah, I don't know. It was, and then there was the Zune. Do you remember that? I don't know. Was it the Zune or the Rune?
I think it was a Zune. I don't know. I had a Dell Music fucking, I don't even know what, but I bought it from Dell.
Dude, you're getting a Dell.
It was like the Dell Music box. I fucking don't even remember.
Back when they would just name things stupid shit because like they didn't even know what it was yet. But it really wasn't even that long ago. It was only like 15 years ago. I think the amount of like technology that has come about in the last 15 years compared to the previous 100 years, I think is terrifying. Like we have like legitimate artificial intelligence now.
Yeah, it's called humans.
Yeah,
Actually, no, it's just artificial, not even intelligence.
But like, have you seen the thing about the Facebook robot that they had to shut down? They like pulled the plug on it.
No.
I think this was last year or early this year. I don't know. Nothing makes sense anymore time wise. I think it was last year, like in 2019. So Facebook created an artificial intelligence robot, and then it like, because it's what AI does. AI keeps improving on itself. So it's like self-learning, self-improving. There's a word for it. I don't know what it is because I'm an idiot. But it got to the point where it started like speaking in fake like code. Like it started saying words that didn't make sense. And then all of a sudden, like one of the Facebook employees discovered that it was actually code and that it was saying like humans are like gonna obsolete or like need to be removed or something. So they literally like yanked the plug out of the wall.
So I will give them that the robots or the artificial intelligence probably got like out of their control. I am not fucking buying that they said humans are fucking obsolete or human.
Yeah, it was something. It was something along those lines. Like it was. So the robot, like what it ended up doing was because it was speaking in English the entire time.
Yeah.
But then all of a sudden, it fridge table was on top of the floor. Like, it started saying words that didn't make sense.
I'll believe that happened.
But someone decoded that because they saw patterns and they realized that what it was actually doing was taking English words and created its own language.
I may even potentially believe that. I am not fucking believing for a second that the first robot that they had got on the fritz and the first thing it said was humans are obsolete or some bullshit.
Yeah.
I am not fucking buying that for a second.
I mean,
that sounds like the fucking Joseph Smith Book of Mormon finds the fucking gold tablets, translates them.
A 12-year-old boy was given tablets by God.
Yeah, translates them. The guy he translated them with lost the translations.
Yeah. And
then he comes back and goes, oh, well, God's really mad at me for losing the translations, so I'm going to retranslate them for you, but they won't be exactly the same.
Yeah, no, it sounds legit. Yeah.
First of all, that's a religion that people believe in.
Yes. Yep.
Second of all, that sounds like a fucking 6-year-old.
They are very, very nice people, though.
You know what?
I've never met a Mormon that was a dick.
I never met a Mormon, and or at least I don't think I have.
Yeah, I haven't met a lot. I met a Mormon that was absolutely batshit crazy.
But like it's just like one of those things. It's like, oh fuck, this thing kind of like got away from us a little bit. Like it's kind of going haywire.
Yeah.
It's like, well, let's kill it. We need to kill it off.
Yeah, pull the plug.
All right, well, let's just say it wanted to kill all humans. Yeah. We'll say that. That'll definitely get the plug pulled.
Yeah.
I'm not buying that for a fucking second.
Yeah, I can see that. I forget how we got on that too. It's a show of tangents. I got the other thing I get. This was all kind of old news, but Vinny. Did you see last week Joe Biden tripped over his dog and broke his foot?
How is that a thing?
Yeah, well, because he's old as shit, and that's what happens to old people. They break things really easily. So he tripped and broke his foot, and now he's going to be in a walking boot for the foreseeable future.
They're killing him.
Yeah, so
this is where it starts.
So this is the hilarious part, is this is the further political split here. You have people on the right and people that are conspiracy theorists saying, here we go. Here it is. This is the beginning. This is the beginning of the down. They're already starting to do it. They're setting it up. This was a test. This was a test to see if he's actually feeble, and he passed or failed, depending on how you're going to look at it. He's feeble. They're going to kill him off. This is it. We're fucked. We're doomed. President Kamala, and we're all screwed. And then you have people on the left, like CNN. I happened to find this article. The title of this article. Ready for this? Why Joe Biden's broken foot reveals how different his White House will be from Donald Trump's. It's good news. The title of the article would lead you to believe that this is a good thing. Because this is great work from CNN. Great journalism here. This is good. This is good. Why Joe Biden's broken foot reveals how different his White House will be from Donald Trump's. What? Why? Because he has a dog? Like, I don't... What does this mean? So, days before Thanksgiving last year, President Donald Trump made an unannounced and previously unscheduled trip to Walter Reed Medical Center. The White House said the trip was for a quick exam and labs. We still don't know why he actually went, or what the outcome of this visit was. On Sunday, 3 days after Thanksgiving this year, President-elect Joe Biden slipped and hurt his foot while playing with his dog, Major. We were quickly told, via the traveling press pool, that Biden was going to see his orthopedist out of an abundance of caution. Within 2 hours, there was a statement from Dr. Kevin O'Connor noting that Biden's foot had been x-rayed and it appeared as though he had a sprain. A CT scan was going to be conducted just to confirm the diagnosis, whatever. So then they go on and say all this shit. The point is this. Transparency in matters of health and, well, everything else is fundamental to a functioning democracy. And we have had the opposite of that the last 4 years. So, creepy old Uncle Joe fell and broke his foot because he tripped over his dog, which is there anything more old person-y?
Like slipping and breaking their hip.
Yeah. Like you fell down the stairs and broke your hip. Like
slipped on ice.
You tripped over a dog and you fell and broke your hip. Those are the two like ultimate like you're old.
Yes. No, this guy's old. That's confirmed.
But it's good though. It means that we have transparency now.
Well, I mean, if we're asking for transparency, I want every day someone to report on all of his meals. I want to know what he's eating every single day.
Yeah, I want to know everything.
I want to know everything. I mean, if we're going to be transparent, I want to know. I mean, he's probably going to start telling me about healthcare and shit like that. I want to know what he's eating every day. Yeah. I want to know how much he's exercising every single day.
Well, we know what Trump is eating and that he doesn't exercise.
Well, he's not transparent, so I guess we don't need to know.
Yeah.
I want to know everything Biden's doing. Every bit of exercise. I want his Whoop band. I'll get a Whoop to be on his Whoop team to know what his strain was today, what his recovery looks like. If we're gonna be transparent, I want to know everything.
Yeah.
Every single thing. I want to know what his
that is true transparency.
I want to know what his nutrition looks like.
Yeah.
Everything.
So then you have the New York Times that just kind of like gives you straight up like facts. As much as I kind of don't like the New York Times, their entire article was like just saying like, hey, this guy broke his foot because he tripped over his dog. So I will say though, he does have a really cool dog. He's got a German Shepherd. I like that.
I can get down with that.
Yeah, big fan of that.
I can also get down with him not fucking caring that he broke his foot.
Yeah. So there was actually, this is really funny. There's been a picture going around like Instagram, and it's a picture of Joe Biden with his dog Major, and it's like just a picture. I think it's like just a picture of like the family and like the dog is in it and whatever, and then it's like a split, and then the right side of it is a zoomed in picture of the dog and his head is kind of tilted. So obviously like people on the right have been like, the dog is an operative. The dog is on our side. And it's like, I get it, like it's a joke and it's comedy and it's satire, but like the comments underneath some of those have been like, all right guys, you don't know like comedy. No. They've been like, how could a dog ever like go against its own? It's like, oh my god, guys, what the fuck? What are we doing?
How could a dog ever go? So did someone actually utter the phrase, how could a dog go against its owner?
Yeah.
Yeah. You ever see a dog when he fucking stares at you and then all of a sudden just pisses on the carpet because you didn't do something that he wanted, or like you weren't home at all today?
Yeah. And you get home and the fucking couch is shredded to bits.
Yeah.
Yeah. How could a dog ever go against its owner like that? It's like, all right.
Pretty easy. It's a fucking dog.
Yeah, hey, shut the fuck up, all right? Like, but that's these people. They're like, it's no matter what happens, they have to believe the opposite. Even in a joke. Like, we all understand that Joe Biden's dog isn't an operative for the fucking GOP. Like, it's...
They planted the dog.
Yeah, it's not a double agent. It's a fucking dog.
They've been planning this for years.
Yeah, the dog's a German Shepherd. It's working for Germany.
Yep.
It's a secret. It's an undercover agent. Like, what? You know what's right next to Germany? Russia.
Yep.
Like, what?
Russian dog.
Like, oh my god, guys. What the... Just, like, laugh. Just laugh. It's a joke. It's a funny joke. It's a funny meme.
You know what country used to have majors in their rank? Russia.
Yeah.
Soviets.
Everything always goes back to Russia. But it's like, we can't even have fun anymore.
No, we can't.
We
Funny
can't
got canceled this year.
Yeah. Yes, it definitely did. Did you see the monolith thing?
Yeah, now it's gone.
Now it's gone.
None of this matters.
No. Because it's not aliens. It's like some dickhead. So for anyone that doesn't know, there was like a metal like...
We did talk about this.
Monolith that was found. Yeah, we talked about it being found in the desert. And then like 3 days ago it disappeared.
Yeah. Someone put it there and then someone took it away.
Like someone put it there probably fucking 6 years ago, and then it finally was found, and they were like, ooh, they found it, now we can move it. And now they moved it, and now everyone's like, oh, it's aliens. No, it's just some fucking dickhead. some guy that like...
Some guy with a big piece of metal.
Yeah, it's like some guy that like went to Burning Man and like stole it from Burning Man. It has nothing to do with that. I wish it was aliens. I mean, now that we know aliens exist, thanks to the United States government, that no one's paying attention
to because they're too worried about a dog being an operative.
Yeah, dogs being an operative for the fucking Republican Party. Yep. Yeah, your dog. The dog's a Republican.
Dog tripped him on purpose.
But like that meme though is awesome because it's just the family photo and then a zoom in of the dog and its head is tilted. It's like, I don't know, you tell me. I laughed so hard when I saw that.
It's so bad.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. The monolith thing is fucking stupid. Now what would be hilarious is if a bunch of them start popping up all over the place.
Just as like a prank.
Yeah, but even still, I wouldn't believe that because then I would think it's just a prank. It's like a bunch of people.
Oh no, it would definitely.
It's like idiots like us would be like, how do we get our hands on a giant piece of metal and go stick it in the woods?
Yeah.
Like it wouldn't even be like a collaborative thing. Like all it would take would be like one other metal spire to be found somewhere, and then like a group of people would be like, oh, we should do that where we live too. Like you know, like
it'll become like the mannequin challenge.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly
it's the monolith challenge.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. And that's partially also why the reason that like people are so anti-conspiracy theory, because it's very hard to like collaborate on such a large scale. That it could like that's the whole thing about like, oh, it's just a coincidence that all these things happened at once because you couldn't fucking collaborate that across the world. It's like, yeah, I believe that kind of.
Sort of.
But like other things, like I kind of believe those. Some conspiracy theories are true.
Yeah, Avril Lavigne has been dead for a while now.
Yeah, no, it was definitely just a magic bullet that just traveled through Kennedy and then hit the fucking Secretary of Defense and then was completely whole on the gurney. And it ended up on the gurney of the fucking Secretary of Defense or whoever, or the governor, or whoever else got shot that day. Yeah, full bullet. No fragments, no nothing.
Yeah, no, it's all factual.
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
That makes sense.
It's just a coincidence, guys. So, I don't know about any of that bullshit. I do have a new budding opinion, though, because I'm a human and I am allowed to change my opinions.
Nope, no, you're not. Especially if you tweeted out something when you were 14 years old as a professional athlete.
As I gather more information, I'm allowed to change my opinions on certain things because all people are really. So there's talk of a new stimulus bill.
Okay.
This new one is not going to have any direct payments to citizens.
Okay.
So, if any of you guys have been following any of this bullshit, it started back in July.
Dude, I don't even know.
They were trying to get a second stimulus bill. First, it was the CARES Act was like April, March.
Yep.
And then there was the Homes Act or something. I don't know. There was
no, there were two. So there was CARES Act passed, and then there were two. One in the House, one in the Senate.
Right. There was one that was backed by the Democrats that was like $2.8 trillion, or like $2.2 trillion or whatever. And the Republicans were like, yeah, you go fuck off. And then they supported a bill that was only worth like $500 million. And then the Democrats were like, well, that's not enough money to save the people. We need more. And then they just kind of like stopped. Like this was like right around like August because they broke for summer recess because they get that. They get summer break.
Hope they all enjoyed their trips and whatnot.
Yep, yeah. And then they got back from summer break and then coronavirus cases increased. So now we went on to lockdown and then we had the election. So there was nothing to do about anything as far as coronavirus relief. Until now, that we've had our election and Joe Biden has won and we're moving forward. there's been a more bipartisan bill that is worth about $900 billion. So essentially, they kind of split the difference. They had like a $2 trillion, or yeah, maybe it was $2 billion. It was a $2 billion, yeah, 2.2 trillion is absurd now that I think of it. They had like a $2.2 billion one from the Democrats, a $500 million one from the Republicans. Now they've kind of worked together and they have like a
Dude, it might have been trillion.
It's a $910 billion package that does not include direct payments to people. It does, you know, it expands the payroll protection program and all that stuff, and it adds unemployment benefits of like $300 through March. What else does it do? Oh, it expands the no eviction notice, so like people can't be evicted from their homes still. So it does do some good stuff. However, no one is saying whether or not they're actually going to vote on it or not. So Mitch McConnell is the guy that runs the Senate, I believe. He's the Republican. And then, what's her face? Fucking Crypt Keeper. Old bitch. Nancy Pelosi. She's like 700 years old. She runs the House and is run by the Democrats. So they pretty much hate each other. So neither of them has said that they were actually going to vote on it or even look at it. I think Mitch McConnell, he's kind of a fucking douchebag too. He said he doesn't even think he'll look at it. Either way, like everyone is pushing for this and everyone's like, well, we have to do something. And I think on this show I've said we need to do something. And I'm pretty sure I said if nothing got passed before the election, that was bullshit, which I still stand by. However, I've taken a new stance on this. I think that something needs to be passed. So right now, the way it stands is people aren't happy about it because there's no direct payment. There's no $1,200 that's being paid out to people because we all got that back from April through May. Everyone wants the $1,200.
And also, what a waste of time.
Yeah. And the Democrats are saying, well, we need to include that. Some Democrats are saying, we need to include that. We need to include payments to people, whatever. What I say is nay. I don't want that. I think that something should be done. I think they should extend unemployment benefits. I think they should extend the eviction notices. People definitely should not be getting evicted right now. People should continue getting your bonus unemployment thing if you can't get work, like whatever. And I recognize that there's always going to be people that take advantage of the system that are on unemployment that don't need to be on unemployment. It's what happens. Anything you put in place, someone's going to find a way to take advantage of it. But as far as the $1,200 stipend thing, that's a big no for me now, because I think that, and I've heard rumblings about this, I think that is going to be a way to justify going into a nationwide lockdown again. I think that if they include the direct payments to the people and they say, look, we gave everybody money again so they could get by another month or two. So now we have to lock down the entire country as a result. But we can do that because we supported our people because we gave them all this money. I think that's what they're going to try and do. And I think if you see that pop into a bill and you see that get passed, you can sign, seal, fucking stamp, we're going into a nationwide lockdown. If that doesn't get passed, then I think it's still going to continue to be state by state. It might end up being nationwide still anyway, sans a few states. But I think if there is a federal bill that's passed that includes direct payments to people again, it almost guarantees that there will be a nationwide lockdown issued by President Biden. So I am very anti-payment. I don't want the payments in the bill. I don't want the $1,200. Don't put it in there. Get it the fuck out of there, because I think it's going to lead to a lockdown, and I don't want that.
This even goes back to what you said, like, at the very beginning. And the point isn't to give people $1,200 because they need help with mortgages and student loans and debts and whatever. Because we all know that that's not where people put that money.
No.
They still forbear everything that they can.
Yep.
They know they can't get evicted, so they're just not paying rent.
Yep.
So you need to take that money, not give it to the people, because I know what I'll fucking do with it. Either nothing or buy something dumb.
Exactly.
And then actually help out those debts and whatever.
Yeah.
But then at the same time, people who don't have any debt are going to be like, well, why does that person now owe less debt or whatever? What the fuck?
Right.
You can't win. Honestly, you can't win. The only way you can win is probably gone. Like, I don't think you can win anymore. The only way to win was to say, like, hey, this thing's fucking risky. You need to take this into your own decision making.
Right.
That was the only way.
Right.
Sure, wear masks, stay the fuck away from each other, but you can't win anymore.
No, the time for winning is gone. that's long gone.
Although I will say, Massachusetts right now, as it stands today at 11:12 a.m., is okay. There was a little give, a little take. I don't know if the businesses can continue to survive.
Right.
Ones in Boston and probably greater Boston probably can't.
I would imagine not.
But the ones in the suburbs can, because everything's just a lot cheaper.
Yeah.
You don't need to do the volume that some of those places do, or operate on higher margins. I would say right now is okay. Just don't trust it'll stay that way.
This is really interesting to me. This whole thing. I mean, I'm not into. I don't even know what this would be called. Socioeconomics or sociology or whatever. Anthropology, some sort of that shit.
Well, anthropology is the study of like cultures of people.
Yeah.
But I believe in the past.
I was very interested, and I'm not saying that this was like a direct. This was like reasoning, but this is definitely has the potential to be a side effect. So what you're seeing right now is a mass exodus out of cities. Large people are leaving cities because it's too expensive. Nothing is open because it's too densely populated.
Yep, too crowded.
And so everyone is fleeing to suburbs. Like I was talking to my cousin who lives in New Hampshire, and he said there's more people that have joined the Facebook group of the town that they live in. And he's like, who the fuck are all these people? Like he's in a very small town in New Hampshire. And he said people are moving up there. Everyone is moving. Everyone, if you're paying attention to real estate at all, the real estate market right now is absolutely exploding. Houses are on the market for like 3 days and then they get sold, well above asking price.
A lot of cash offers too.
Yeah, and it's everyone that's moving away from the city. But in order to move away from the city, you have to have some sort of flexible income, right? So I'm wondering what the socioeconomic repercussions will be if cities are going to start to become more poor, because the poor people don't have the means to leave the city. You know what I'm saying? So like the rich person that lives in the Seaport district in Boston that pays $3,500 a month for a 2-bedroom, 1,300 square foot apartment,
It'll be more than that.
is now gonna get rid of that and maybe go move to Newton or something like that, Brookline, pick a suburb of Boston, in an actual house that's more square feet and either the same cost or less. So now you're not going to be able to fill the high-end stuff in the city anymore. So then what happens? Then typically they open it up to low-income housing and things like that. And I don't know, will the city start to deteriorate? And this might be a question for 10 years from now. If there's a mass exodus from the city and people don't come back, is the city going to be filled with more poverty?
Depends on how long this goes.
Yeah.
Because if the vaccine's actually coming out, which means we can move on, it'll be fine.
Yeah,
Because there won't be enough people who have left.
Right.
But
I think it's still salvageable right now. But if it goes on for another year,
you just think, man, 2 years in the grand scheme of things isn't that much time.
no, but it is enough time for people to move.
Correct. But you'll get some of those younger professionals that maybe aren't poor, but don't have the money of the people who left,
Yeah.
and you cater to them. So you can still it's like if you take the Seaport, which was the example you used, right now you're pricing out upper class or pricing in upper class. That's it.
Yeah.
But if you price in that like young professional whatever, so it's still more than poor, but affordable for some of those people, it's gonna be fine. Like, yeah, so you might not catch 3,500, $4,000 for a small apartment,
Right.
but you might still be able to get like 28, and 28 still prices out the poor.
Right. Yeah.
But if this goes on for 5 fucking years, then no one's gonna want to go to the city.
Right.
But I mean, we're looking at maybe like a calendar year-ish. Because I still look at here as like February,
Yeah.
March.
Yeah.
Because the first shutdown started in March.
March 16th was the last day I went to work.
So really got to look at mid-March. Because we got on a plane and there was really no issue that week.
No.
Yeah, so mid-March. Yeah, I mean, theoretically, we're not even 9 months into this thing.
Yeah.
I mean, you can, like, Boston will be fine. Because the way a lot of people looking at it too is, a lot of people right now look at it as an opportunity.
Yeah.
They look at it like, oh fuck, people are leaving, I'm buying.
Right.
So if it keeps going, all those people that look at it like, oh, people are leaving, I'm buying. Well, once those people get fucking fucked,
Yeah.
then there's no more.
Like the demand has to return. Right now, there's no demand in Boston because.
No, there still is because it's
Well,
cheaper
no, I mean,
and people are leaving.
I don't mean demand for real estate. I mean demand for, like, restaurants and businesses. Like.
Oh yeah,
there-
no, there's
it's-
no demand for.
Like there can't be because everything is closed.
Yeah.
Like, the mayor has closed everything, so there is a demand for it, but there isn't because it can't be because it's against the law. And if that continues, then, like, that's what I mean. Like, eventually restaurants will close and small businesses will close, and then what goes in there? And then they can't afford it, you know. And it's, I don't know. And maybe I'm completely wrong. Like, I'm not a socioeconomic fucking guy. Maybe if this does even go for another year, and there's like a 90% turnover in small businesses in the city, maybe 75% of them are turned over with some other small business of someone that wants to move in. Like maybe I don't know what I'm talking about. Kinda, I'm just talking out of my ass.
No, that's why I think it has to last a lot longer. Because if it's only a year or two, well, it takes out. So like if you take the restaurants in Boston, maybe they were operating at an overhead that they definitely shouldn't have been operating at.
Yeah.
So there's gonna be a reset in rents and stuff like that because some of these places they're gonna want, like if they have a space and it is already outfitted as a restaurant, they're gonna want it to be a restaurant.
Right.
They're not gonna want to do it whatever, especially on some of those old streets, buildings, whatever. Like it's zoned as a restaurant. You can't zone it as something else.
Right.
It's not gonna happen.
Right.
So they might be a little desperate, not a ton, a little desperate just to get another restaurant in there as quick as possible. So if you reset the rent figure and someone looks at it and goes, wow, I remember what happened the last 2 years. So having a staff of whatever and providing all these benefits and whatever, no.
Right.
I'm gonna run a lean operation. I got a good deal on rent. Go time.
Right.
But if this continues, no one's gonna take those opportunities.
Yeah.
Or if it's like, even if it's like maybe, okay, another pandemic doesn't come, but some other fucking level of bullshit comes, which I don't know what.
Yeah.
There's always gonna be something.
There's always gonna be something else. Yeah.
But I think it could happen. It's just gonna take a lot longer. Like 2 years in the grand scheme of things is not a lot of time.
Yeah. No, you're right.
It's not enough time for a lot of anyone who can get out could have gotten out at any point.
Right.
There's some people who can't get out yet.
Well, that kind of brings me back to like my original point was that what is going to happen to the cities? Like, is the city just going to be full of poor people? Or I hate just using the term poor people.
Yeah.
But is the city going to be full of people that are unfortunately are living under the poverty line? You're going to be like, say because like I said, all the rich people and the people that can afford to leave. You know, like say the city of Boston, say Massachusetts. Let's just run a scenario. Let's say by March, Massachusetts is solid. We're ready to open up, but the city of Boston is not, because Walsh is a fucking dick. He's a bigger dickhead than Baker, and he keeps the city shut down. Well, now people are going to leave the city. What's to stop people from going from the Seaport District to Newton or Wellesley or Westwood or Tewksbury or Somerville, or you know what I mean? What's to stop those people from just leaving Boston and going to a closer suburb?
Yeah, so obviously if he keeps things closed down,
right,
you're not going to want to live
and then what you're left with is the people that live in poverty.
But how long can he do that for?
I don't know. And
eventually someone would have to...
Yeah. Hey, what did we say in March? Eventually someone would have to not get rid of this lockdown. You know, like this is why I don't believe in anything anymore, because we literally were like, eventually this can't go on forever.
So if Charlie Baker
and it has.
Well, that's because everyone's still aligned.
Yeah.
If Charlie Baker goes, yep, we're back open, we've changed some regulations about capacities and things like that, and like that's just permanent, whatever. And then Marty Walsh goes, yeah, no, fuck you, we're shutting down, not open, it's not safe. And then the state of Massachusetts is gonna be like, yeah, dude, what the fuck are you doing?
Right.
And then I bet that would, because the state of Massachusetts is gonna look like, no, we're ready to open. Boston's not that bad, we're ready to go. And he goes, nope, lock it down. Then you have a conflict, whereas right now their conflicts are only over small things.
Yeah.
Then, if you have a massive conflict like that, it will get resolved. But that's the thing, there isn't enough conflict right now.
Right.
Because everyone's just so like, shut up, how'd you phrase it? Shut up, wear a mask, wait for a vaccine, and shut your mouth.
Yeah.
Everyone's so aligned with that mentality that no one's doing anything right now.
Yeah.
Like, and again, I know it comes from the state, but like, some of these cities and towns could easily say, yeah, you know what, man, fuck you, we're opening up our shit because we're not getting any fucking sales tax revenue, we're not getting any taxes to the town.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we're so fucking far behind on property taxes. Like, the towns are gonna need to make money. But like, that's the thing, is even though it feels like a long 9 months, 9 years, however long it's been, in the grand scheme of things, it's not that long.
Right.
Like, it would be really interesting to see what's happened. And I know Flint's a kind of a shithole anyway.
Yeah.
But it'd be really interesting to see what's happened in Flint, Michigan over like the water thing, because that's been a few years, but still not that much time in the grand scheme of things.
Right.
But you gotta think like a lot of time is like 10 years.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's like, if the restaurants can come back in like 2 or 3, someone's gonna be ready to fucking replace the old ones. And like the ones that shut down were probably just like, oh my god, fuck it, like I couldn't wait to unload this thing. But there's gonna be people that are gonna be fighting tooth and nail because they want to still do it because they will be younger and they're not over it yet. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I don't even know what the repercussions would be if the people with all the money left the city. Like, I don't know what that leads to. Like, I don't know. Does it lead to increased crime? I have no idea. Does it lead to less crime because there's less people, even though all the people are have less money? I have no fucking clue.
Yeah, I wouldn't. I don't know. So I'm not even gonna remotely speculate on like crime or anything, because that's definitely moving into like the socioeconomic stuff.
Right.
But simple economics would say, if there's less median income in a given place, then businesses aren't gonna look to go there. Never mind pay the rates that they probably have to pay. So you're gonna have less business, which means all you can do is raise property taxes, which you can't do because the income doesn't dictate that you can. So yeah, I mean, like, the city's gonna be hurting.
Yeah.
And then how they fix it from there, I don't know. It's like, do they try to build more seaport areas, like try to make things nicer so they can be more expensive, more appealing to those people that pull them back?
Or I wonder if the solution would be more like assemblies, where everything is in where you live.
Could be.
So like it's its own community, because you have the apartments that are up top, you have all the shops on the bottom. There's a fucking movie theater over there. There's restaurants. There's if you live in Assembly Square in Somerville, you never have to leave.
Right.
You can just live in your own little community.
Yep.
I don't know. It's weird.
It's
Weird. It's gonna be really crazy to see how this fucking changes the world.
Well, so that being said, I'm taking a victory lap for us.
Let's go.
So the election is still less than a month old. Might feel like it was a while ago.
Yeah.
Not a long time ago.
Nope. It was not even 1 month. It'll be 1 month when this comes out.
Yep.
Tomorrow.
So what did we say was going to happen after the election? We didn't say that COVID was going to be gone.
No.
But we said they're going to drop little hints.
Yep.
Like little pieces here and there.
Yep.
So we've heard a couple hints. Like, there was a research study that showed that asymptomatic people don't transmit the disease in a sample. I think it's a pretty legitimate sample, but anyone who doesn't like the results of that research will say the sample's too small, but whatever. So we saw, okay, well, maybe asymptomatic people don't transmit this thing. Now we're hearing, all right, well, vaccines are almost ready. Pfizer's got one, Moderna's got one, like, they're close, and they're the test results are good, like the efficacy.
They're like over 90% efficable.
Yeah, which, never mind. Well, did you see one of the studies?
No.
It was something like I forget how. Fuck. They sent like 95 people out in the world. They're like, hey, here's this vaccine. Like, they sent them like out on their way, and then like 5 people got it. It's like,
yeah.
What?
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's reassuring.
Yeah, 95% effective,
Yeah.
or 94% effective, whatever it was, whatever
Yeah.
that rate is.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, cool. So,
Yeah.
Anyway, but it's almost ready.
Yeah. We're getting there.
So then, recently, we hear the CDC has revised their quarantine rules.
Oh boy.
So now, if you have a close contact with someone, which means you're maskless with them, less than 6 feet, 15 minutes, like, you're close with this person, not just like in the same room as them or walk by them. 7-day quarantine, negative test, good to go. Not 2 weeks anymore. They knocked down the quarantine rules. Okay.
Huh. Okay. Interesting.
England, vaccine's ready to go. Like, it's ready. Like, they're gonna start the distribution period. So within a month of the election ending. Now, anyone who's listening at home and doesn't like my thoughts on this, I will give you a point. How does the US election have anything to do with England and fucking China? I don't know. Nothing.
Yeah.
That would be
Did you say that the study of the asymptomatic people was from
was
China?
Chinese
Yeah.
Chinese citizens.
Yes.
Do they have citizens there? Are they slaves? What are they? People in China.
Yeah, people who live in China.
Yes. Residents.
Residents.
Chinese
yeah.
residents.
Yeah.
So I don't know who conducted the study, but it was of Chinese residents. I'm guessing China didn't do the research because I don't think that's allowed there.
Yeah.
Or it would be state run where
Or
they
if
had
they
0
did,
cases.
they wouldn't share the research results.
Yeah, they wouldn't share the idea that 300 people had the
yeah. Because now it's coming out. Have you seen the other shit?
They lied about everything. They had no shit.
They lied about it. And yeah, that's what I said. I saw the thing that was like, well, it turns out China lied and they repressed results and all this other shit. And I was just like,
Yeah,
you're surprised?
we knew that. I thought we already knew that.
We knew that the whole time.
Yeah, like, oh, but you know why? Okay, I thought we knew that because I heard it and I go, well, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
But you know who said it? Trump.
Oh, yeah.
So we can't believe that.
Yeah.
depending on what side you vote for.
Right.
Whatever.
Yeah.
So we're taking the victory lap because in the month since the election, we have heard a research study that says asymptomatic people don't transmit the disease. We have heard of vaccines. England has it ready to go. And the CDC has lowered the quarantine restrictions.
Do you know what I just heard? Do you have more that you want
Nope.
to rip through on that? So, you know what I just heard on the Sports Hub on my way home this morning? Was there's talk, because they're talking about the NBA is coming back in December, this month. We're in December now, Jesus Christ. So the NBA is coming back, and they're not going to be in the bubble. They're going to play the season, however, and they said that Dr. Fauci has said he believes it's possible that by the time the NBA playoffs happen, which would be June, July, that all arenas would have fans in the stands. Now, he did say that he doesn't know if all stadiums will be able to be filled. So I don't know if you would have all 20,000 plus people in an arena for basketball, but he said there will be people in the stands. And then they asked him about the following NFL season next September, and he goes, "Oh yeah, yep, absolutely, without a doubt, the NFL season will be back next year, full stadiums." This is from the guy. Now I don't know. Before I say this, I should stop myself. I don't know if this guy actually said it. I feel like he did, but I'm going to attribute it to him anyway because it's my fucking show and I can do whatever I want. And we're not a news channel. This is from the guy that said, "Well, I wouldn't be surprised if this thing doesn't go away until 2022." Now he's saying, "Yeah, no, football season kick off next year, no problem." Oh, and basketball playoffs in June, July. Yeah, there'll be people in the arenas. Yeah, absolutely. Why not? Why not? Well, I thought this was going to go until 2022. But now all of a sudden it's not? Okay. All right. See what we're getting at here. But here it is.
Well, that's the thing.
This is the beginning.
We said
It's very subtle. Very subtle.
after the election they would start to hint.
Yep.
They wouldn't just say, and actually it started back in August. I forget what it was, but I remember you saying that.
Yeah.
But there's like little things that maybe start to like indicate.
I have to go back and listen to our episodes from August and find out which one it was because I know what you're talking about, but I don't remember exactly what I said.
We said it wouldn't be full blown gone.
Yep.
But they would start to slowly drop the hints that maybe this thing's on its way out.
Yep. And then randomly, I do remember this. What I said is that it randomly starts to trickle out, and then we get to the point where it's like February, March, where then no one talks about it anymore, and then I lose my fucking mind and I blow a gasket because I get so fucking mad. I do remember saying that part, but I don't remember what else I said. I remember the part about getting really angry.
Now, the one thing I will say that is consistent with that is, although case numbers are kind of going like through the roof right now, death numbers are fucking low.
That's what I've been saying the entire time.
Low.
This whole time, I said right around August, they shifted. They stopped reporting on all the deaths, and they started reporting on all the positive cases. And now, we're not talking, like, in April, it was, this thing is crazy deadly. If you get it, you're going to die. There's so many deaths. Everyone's dying. Death.
And actually, back in April, they were kind of right.
Now, it's, well, there's cases, positive cases. Everyone's positive. Everyone has it. Everyone's getting it. Oh my God, everyone's getting it. We need to lock down. Hey, hold on. Wait. Let me raise my hand in the back. Hey. Are people still dying like they were in April? No, but it doesn't matter because we have Whoa, no, stop. Are people dying? No, not like they were in April and May. Okay. So why does this matter anymore then? Well, everyone's getting it. Everyone's testing positive. Well, so they're testing positive, but they're not dying? You mean they're just getting sick? Well, people get sick.
It happens.
People have been getting sick since, I would imagine, people have existed.
Like, there was once upon a time where the CDC used to track flu numbers, and then we could see, like, how many people were getting the flu. But they stopped doing that now.
Yeah. It's like...
convenient.
Yeah. It's like...
See the guy from the Raiders? He got a call from the Nevada Board of Health?
No.
I don't know which player it was, but he's on the Raiders. And Nevada Board of Health calls him and goes, "Oh, we got your test results and you tested positive." He goes, "Yeah?" They're They're like, yeah, so, you know, like, quarantine, blah, blah, blah. He goes, that's incorrect. They go, what? He goes, my employer tests me every single day.
Yeah.
Because if I was positive, that would have come up. He goes, I've since he goes, so for whatever date you're telling me, he goes, I've since tested negative 2, 3, 4 times.
Yeah.
So what are you doing? Oh, we must have made a mistake. Well, he goes, you didn't make a mistake. He goes, you're calling random people and telling them they tested positive. He goes, you just fucked up and called me, who gets tested every single day. No, disregard. This is a mistake. This is a mistake. He goes, no, this isn't a mistake. You guys are doing this on purpose.
Yeah.
And this is what he said. He said on the phone to them.
Yeah.
He goes, so whatever he goes, if it's political, if it's whatever, he goes, I don't know what the fuck it is, but something's fucked here.
Yeah.
And I'm swearing. He didn't swear like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I thought that was pretty good.
That's wild.
They're like, oh no, this is a mistake. Disregard.
Yeah.
This isn't a mistake. You guys are doing this on purpose.
Yeah. Well, here we go. Now all of a sudden, randomly, just here we are, December 2nd. You know what? If you get it, you only have to quarantine for 7 days now.
No, if you're a close contact.
Oh, if you're a close contact, quarantine for 7 days.
But it might be if you get it, it might be 10 days, test negative, good to go.
Yeah, yeah.
Which is what the NFL's been doing the whole time.
Right. But
actually, I know
before it was you have to quarantine for 10 to 4. It's already changed from 14 to 10.
Yeah.
And now it's close contact is 7.
Yeah. I have more testing snafus I forgot about.
Oh yeah.
Yep. So people who were in close contact went and got tested after, I don't know, so many days. They probably waited 7 days to go get their tests. Test results were ready on the 24th of November. These people didn't get their phone call that they had tested positive until the 30th. Huh. So, what are you going to tell me? Oh, well, that's just a mistake. Yes, that's a fucking problem.
Yeah.
If this thing is guiding our entire fucking lives,
yeah,
and they can't even get phone calls correct, we have a fucking problem here, which I've been saying the entire time.
Well, I mean, I don't know if we can say it because it's like military related. But we have a friend that had it, got tested, never received his results, and then after like probably close to 10 days, and then once he kicked it and was recovered, then they finally decided like, well, we're going to send you for secondary testing. Still hadn't received. Now I haven't talked to him in a couple days, so I don't know if he's gotten his results since then, but he got tested. He was close. Someone that he was a close contact.
Yeah.
Ended up, we're assuming, got it. Got his test, and they didn't give him the results.
Yeah, he had
a
close contact. He had a close contact, got symptoms.
Yeah.
And then never got test results.
Correct.
Well, I know someone in that exact scenario that also tested negative, so I don't want to assume he tested positive.
Right. Yeah, no, that's true. But, I mean, his were devastating.
I probably could have said the same thing.
Yeah.
At times.
Yeah. And then, so like I said, he's in the military, so then the military sent him for secondary testing or some other shit. He was starting to explain to me, like last week when I talked
to him. They wanted him to get the antibody test.
Right. Because
I think what they were going to do is retroactively say, well, he tested positive for the antibody test, so he had it during that time. Right. Which might be true, might not be true. It's probably true, honestly. Right. I'm being a dick, but it's probably true. Right.
But could you imagine you're a close contact, you get sick, you go get your test, and then you don't receive your test results for 2 weeks? Like what? Well, what are we doing? Like by the time you get your test results, you're recovered.
Well, that's the point. So that's what I mean is like it actually, so truthfully, it doesn't change anything.
No.
It shows the incompetence of testing.
Yeah.
But it doesn't actually change anything with that individual because he still had to like hang out, do his thing, not go back to work, not really leave. Like, couldn't do anything anyway because he, again, all assumptions are that he had it. Right. Because even if he tested negative, work probably doesn't want him back yet. Right. They go, you had a bunch of symptoms in your close contact, but you tested negative. Yeah, why don't you stay home for another week?
Yeah.
I mean, what, you can throw a mask on and go to the grocery store? Cool. Sick freedoms, because there's nothing else to do.
No.
It's not like you're like missing out on anything.
No, that's true.
Oh yeah, I missed out on the big the big birthday party for our friends at the club. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. What's a club?
I don't know. I mean,
The thing you swing on.
actually,
you know
what's funny? I hated those fucking things anyway.
Yeah, same.
But
yeah,
I definitely don't have to go back now.
Yeah, fuck that. Too old for that shit now.
Yeah, I mean, I was.
We'd be like the creepy old people.
I was already too old, but
yeah.
But even like college is a crowded bar instead of a club.
Yeah, yeah.
Even I don't even want to do that.
Yeah, give me like a low key like towny bar any day of the week.
Yep.
Like, I want nothing to do with those crowded fucking bars.
I'm
in the
good.
city. Yeah.
I'm good.
I want to know like Flynn's down the street. If you happen to be in Mansfield, Massachusetts, you should go to Flynn's. Not a sponsor, but
they could be too.
They could be too. Great service. You got Sean the bartender. That's what I want. I like local towny spots where I get to know the bartender. The bartender knows me. I walk in. He goes, "Hey Jared, what's up? We doing the usual?" And I say, "Yes, sir." And the usual, if you're wondering, is I sit at the bar and Sean feeds me beer. I don't know what beer he gives me. He just because their big thing is they have like 36 taps or whatever. He picks a beer. He puts it in front of me. I drink it. He takes my empty glass, fills up a different beer, puts it in front of me, and I continue to drink. That's our thing. I go in, and I haven't been able to do it in a fucking year because coronavirus sucks. But all I want to do is walk in, sit at the bar, and be like, "Hey, Sean. Hey, Jared. You doing the same thing?" "Yes, sir. Here's your first beer." "All right. I'm going to try and delete as many of these as I can." That's the shit that I like. I don't like going into a crowded bar in the city and having to bump elbows with everybody.
Can't hear anything.
Can't hear. It's bullshit. It's stupid.
Even when I was young, I didn't like that shit.
Yeah. It just never ended well. It was always.
It was never enjoyable.
Yeah, yeah.
Like obviously, like dude, that's been like I've been long out of that game. Like I really have. And like you're 2 years younger than me, but yeah, kind of. It's like I've been long out of that game.
Yeah.
But there's still always like the random times where we go to like a lower key place, but it just so happens to be busy.
Yeah.
And it's like, all right, well, this kind of sucks too.
Yeah, this blows. I'd rather be at Flynn's.
Yeah.
All right. Well, you want to start wrapping this up?
Yeah.
All right.
To occupy my winter, I'm thinking about the idea of trying to get my swing speed up to 130 miles an hour. Now, I put this out on social media just to see what people would think, because I just figured a bunch of people would be negative about it.
Yeah.
And whatever. So, from a physical perspective, because from a technical perspective, I understand that there's a way to swing a golf club more efficiently and more effectively. And I just don't know if I have that talent, or I feel like it's one of those things that I might have to change my entire swing.
Yeah.
To get there. But the other thing that when it comes to like strength and power development, I'm not very strong and I'm not very powerful as is. So with a golf club in my hand, yeah, sure, I'm better than most, but like absolute lifting numbers or like power metrics, they're not very good. They just aren't, and it is what it is. But so I think my biggest limiting factor to 130 is my strength and power away from the golf club. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't need to call Classic Gary and be like, "Hey, I need to swing this thing 130. What moves do I need in the swing?" Fucking
right.
Moves.
Yeah.
Fuck off.
Yeah.
And then it's just like, hey, yeah, because I've hit a driver at a perfect efficiency before, mm-hmm. and it didn't go 130 miles an hour. I have done it. It's like,
yeah.
Gary said it. He goes, look up the Smash Factor. He goes, look it up.
Yeah. It was
dead on. And the ball the club head did not go 130 miles an hour. So obviously there's something else there. Mm-hmm. And I just think with my room for improvement, I might be able to get there. But the idea is if I get to 130, that's not going to be the swing I use on the golf course. It'll be the ceiling. Because like right now my ceiling's like 111. So if I can get the ceiling up to 130 and then swing it at 115, 120, I'm going to gain 10 miles an hour, which is 20 something yards.
Right.
I'm going to hit the ball further, but swinging the 115, 120 with the effort that I swing at 105 right now, I'd like to see where that goes.
Yeah.
Plus I can probably rope James into doing it with me. Which he's much closer to it.
Yeah.
He really is, because he's just a lot stronger and a lot quicker now.
You're just like a couple hypertrophy cycles away.
No, not hypertrophy cycles. But the way I figured I would do it is 3 strength days, and it would be like glorious. I go in and I only do strength.
Yeah. And
then it's like 2 days a week, I'll just do just power. Instead of like trying to do like core with mobility, swing the kettlebell with something prehab, then get lifted. It's like, fuck, this sucks.
Yeah, that blows.
So I'm
Probably
thinking,
just do hypertrophy.
why the fuck would I do hypertrophy? I fucking hate hypertrophy.
Because you got to become big golfer.
I'm not gonna become big golfer. Well, that's another thing too. Is if I'm gonna do it, I'm like about 165 right now, probably more because of the holiday. But I don't want to be 190 doing this.
Why not?
I don't want to maintain 190 because it's gonna be disgusting if I even get there. Unless you have some clear vials for me.
I mean,
in which case, yeah, sure, I'll be 190.
I can make a phone call.
I don't know. I thought about it. I've been thinking about it. I'm not playing. I'm pretty sure my season's done now.
Yeah.
Like, killed.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I was thinking by March 31st, 4 months, can I add 25 miles an hour?
Yeah, I mean, I think you probably could.
Because 105 isn't fast. Because some people are like, oh, I don't know, that's kind of a lot. I'm like, yeah, but 105 is not quick. Like, it just isn't.
Yeah.
And I think I can get... That's the other thing, too, is I think there's a couple things, like, I can almost cheat my way to a couple miles an hour. Like, 105 is me trying to, like, keep the ball on the planet.
Yeah.
The 130 is not going to be on the planet, and I'm okay with that.
Right.
Well, depending on which planet. If it's Ritter, it'll be in play.
Yeah.
It's always in play at Ritter.
Yeah, yeah.
So I don't know. I'm interested to see how it goes. That might be my winter project. If I do, I'll plug it and I'll do it like social media documentation, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Plus, it'll give me content to post about.
True. I dig that.
Thinking about it. A lot of negativity though. Actually, hold on. I'll pull up my Instagram.
I would go full big golfer though. Although I'm already like 190.
Yeah, but he's 235.
Yeah, and he's also.
So he's where you started, but he's also 6'2".
I was just gonna say he's also like 5 inches taller than me.
And he's good at golf.
Yeah.
Should we real quick see what kind of negativity is already in this? Actually, I got 43 votes for yes, 13 for no. That's not bad.
Wow.
People have faith in me.
Yeah.
I guess if people have faith in me, I'm gonna have to actually
have to do it.
I might actually have to actually do it.
Yeah.
See voters. Who's on no? No, because I'm actually curious. You know what's funny? So of these 13 no's, there's 2 performance facilities.
Mm-hmm.
3 golf coaches,
Mm-hmm.
which means 8 individual people.
Yeah.
Just random people.
Yeah.
So you wonder if that's like a jealousy thing or if it's I'm a 6, I know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's interesting.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll see. I might try to pull it off.
Yeah.
But it'll be interesting. If I can get fucking James to do it, I definitely can get him to do it with me. The only thing I don't know if I can get him to do with me is like, I would like to do like a weekly video, be like, where you at? What did you do this week? What have you been struggling with? Whoa, whoa, whoa. And just like have a conversation based off that. I don't know if I can pin him down and actually get him for an amount of time to do that.
Yeah, that's true too.
Actually, I have access to his schedule. I could just block it out.
Yeah, hey, every day or once a week we're doing this.
Once a week, Thursdays at fucking 10 a.m.
Yeah, yeah. It's doable.
I don't know. We'll see.
I have no idea how fast I swing a golf ball.
It's not that hard to find out.
It's not.
But I'll tell you right now, 105 is not quick, but
I mean, that's probably faster than what I would.
it probably is faster than what you swing. So if you take your average recreational once a month, just really casual golfer,
Mhm.
it's probably 100 or less. If you take the people that I typically play against in tournaments and when handicaps are equal, so like say 0 to 4 because I am a 4,
Yeah.
but I could play to it. I like on any given day I could be a 0, but for one round.
Yes.
But like I am a 4. 0 to 4 is usually competitive play. Like me going against an 8 usually is not fair to the 8 playing straight up.
Right.
It's not fair to me to play an 8 with strokes. It's
Right.
too close.
Yeah.
Or I'm sorry, the strokes are too close, but the straight up is too far apart.
Yeah.
So like take that 0 to 4 range where I'm on the top end of it, but that's who I play against in some of these qualifiers, or even actually I guess it's 0 to 5.4. That's technically the cutoff. Those people all definitely swing faster than me. Like I gotta be in the low percentile out there.
Yeah.
So that's why I think I have opportunity to grow with it.
Yeah.
Also, some of my measures, like I did some measures in September. We also came out of lockdown, or we were shut down till July.
Mhm.
I may have started lifting again in June. Maybe not. I forget. But I lost a shitload of strength in those 3 months. And I didn't have much to begin with, and I lost a lot of it. And then me lifting in the summer is really a sham. It's terrible. It's hard. My schedule's too crazy, and I try to play golf. I try to work.
Yeah.
Everything gets crammed together. So it's hard for me to lift truly. So I actually think even for myself, I have room to grow just to get to my own kind of levels. Never mind beyond that.
Yeah. That's the one thing I noticed of, because I did a 5-3-1 at the end of the summer, like through the July into August. Yeah, I finished it right before we went on guys weekend, and the numbers I was hitting was like relatively low, like for me, and it was like kind of a struggle. And so I just finished my 5-3-1. This is my 4th week, the deload week this week. And I did the exact same program that I did in July and August. And when I struggled and did like whatever I did there, I fucking blew it out of the water.
Yeah.
With this one. Like one of the ones, what is on the plus week, the 1 plus.
So the 1 plus
think
it's 95% of whatever you're using, whatever number you're using.
Yeah. So I did
And you do 1 plus.
I think it was 315.
Was your max? Or was that the weight?
Was the 1 plus weight.
Yeah.
Of in August I did it like I don't know, I'm good 8 times, and then just now when I did it, it was like 15.
Yeah. I should also probably start back squatting.
Yeah, that's like the one thing. That's the only thing I will always do, like forever.
Well,
I have to squat.
I switched to front squats because of obviously a front squat is a more vertical.
Yeah.
It relates more to vertical power production, but a back squat's going to allow me to move the most amount of weight total.
Right. That's a whole other podcast.
Yeah.
I want to ask you, in the vein of the Gym Fail Nation polls recently, what do you think is the best gangster movie of all time? So to help kind of like spark.
Can you give me some?
So some of the better ones there.
So we're looking at like Casino, Goodfellas, Bronx Tale.
Yes. Godfather Part 2,
Godfather.
Scarface, Pulp
Yeah.
Fiction.
Yeah.
Reservoir Dogs, like all of these like gangster movies.
Yeah, probably Godfather 2.
Yeah, so for me,
Actually, it's hard to say because Godfather 1 and 2 is 2 better than 1
yes,
because De Niro's in it.
yeah. For me, I had it between Godfather Part 2 and even like A Bronx Tale.
A Bronx Tale's good.
Is very good. What ended up winning was Scarface.
That's bold. You see that's a
Scarface, I think, beat Pulp Fiction in the final.
You know what I think of when I think of those two movies, and they're both fine. Movie posters.
Yes. Yeah.
So it's everyone who had those movie posters in their house.
Right.
Or as a kid growing up.
Right. Now, don't get me wrong, I love Scarface. I also really enjoy Pulp Fiction. But do I think either of those should have been in the finals of the best gangster movie ever?
No, because Scarface isn't that good of a movie.
No. I would put Goodfellas.
Say that? Do I want to say that?
I mean, I really enjoy it.
I know.
I don't. It's been a while since I've watched it, so like cinematic quality, I don't know.
So,
but it's entertaining.
I can't sit there and watch it. It's too fucking long, and that's beyond past me at this point.
Yeah.
The guy's a fucking cokehead that just goes nuts.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. It's entertaining.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
I don't know. Scarface has never done it for me.
Yeah. It's like I said, between A Bronx Tale and Godfather Part 2, but like a very, very close third for me too is Goodfellas. Those three movies, all like individually and together collectively, however you want, much better than Pulp Fiction and Scarface.
Yeah,
yet those were the final two.
I do like all of these movies, but Scarface, Pulp Fiction, Scarface definitely way fucking overrated. Way overrated. But that's only because people hold it so high. So when I say it's overrated, it's not like Red Hot Chili Peppers overrated.
Yeah.
Where I actually think most of their music isn't very good.
Yeah.
Scarface is still good. It's just people hold it like it's the best movie ever, and it's just I'm not seeing it, man.
Yeah.
Just not.
It's not better than Goodfellas.
No, I in my preference of watching would probably be A Bronx Tale, Godfather 2, Casino, or Goodfellas. Really, the
Casino. I would put that as 4.
They were interchangeable for me.
Yeah.
I would even start throwing Godfather 1 back in the mix. Like, I know that wasn't, like, of the option, like...
Right.
Pulp Fiction... Scarface would be, like, my last... I'm trying to, like... Unless you start involving, like, The Departed and...
Well, those were all... Because it was in there. Yeah. Because it was, like, 32...
Yeah, so, like, if you're gonna... Yeah, so, like, when you start getting into, like, outside of this first tier...
Yeah.
I'll still take Scarface over them.
Yeah.
I like Blow. It's not a gangster movie.
Yeah.
It's not a crime movie. It was gangster movies.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Before I get too far away from the original.
Yeah.
Because I was gonna say I'm thinking drug movies.
Yeah. Blow is very good.
Yeah. Gangster movies. Yeah, so I think I know it's not traditional, but I'd even put American Gangster up there. I'd probably rather watch that than Scarface.
That was in, I think that
Training
was
Day?
In the tournament.
No, that's not gangster.
No, that was in the tournament.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you think it didn't make it further because it's not a gangster movie?
Potentially, yeah.
Because it's really not.
Yeah.
It's one guy.
Right. Yeah, it's just
It's a crooked cop.
It's a crooked cop.
Way overrated. But I can absolutely see why.
Yeah.
And Pulp Fiction too. I mean, Pulp Fiction's good.
Pulp Fiction was like a generational film. You know what I mean? Like it defined like that like early 90s. Like it was.
Yeah, it's also it's kind of culty.
Yeah. I think that's kind of what I was getting at.
I like it because it's quotable.
Yeah.
The actual movie doesn't really do a ton for me.
Yeah.
I know
personally, I might like Reservoir Dogs better.
I think I might too. Pulp Fiction, I mean, it's good.
Yeah.
But again, it's one of those movies, and I don't know if it's because fucking Uma Thurman wears like a black fucking wig. Like, I don't know what it is. Like, I don't know what it is. Like, because I'm thinking of the movie poster.
Yeah.
It's her in the black wig smoking a cigarette.
Yeah.
I'm just like, I don't know. Is it Mr. Wolf? Like, I don't know. Like, I don't know what it is about Pulp Fiction that makes people so, like,
Yeah.
gung-ho about it.
Yeah.
It's good. Like, Samuel Jackson's pretty good. I don't like John Travolta in that movie. I just don't like the character.
Yeah.
He probably did fine as what the character was supposed to be, but I just don't like the character.
Right.
Kind of fucking douche. I don't know.
Yeah. Oh, I wanted to get your thoughts on that.
That'll probably ruffle some feathers.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we're on the same page. Like, I agree. I don't think Scarface should have won, and I don't think it should have been Scarface versus Pulp Fiction.
No, again, I think it really I think it should have come down. See, A Bronx Tale was hard to get access to when we were younger, so maybe that's been less seen.
A Bronx Tale.
It's the best out of
probably,
Casino, Goodfellas, Bronx Tale. They're all basically the same movie.
Yeah.
And A Bronx Tale is the best of them.
Yeah.
And then Goodfellas, Casino are a toss-up, but I'd still rather watch both of those over Pulp Fiction or Scarface.
Yeah. The only knock against Godfather Part 2 is that it's like 3 fucking hours long.
I know, but so is Scarface.
Yeah.
Scarface is super long.
Well, Scarface has other knocks against it.
Yes.
But I mean, like, the only knock against Godfather 2 is that it's 3 hours long. And when it's on TV, it's like 5 hours because of
it's unwatchable.
Yeah.
It's unwatchable.
Yeah. It like almost only can be played on like AMC with no commercials. Or like one of those movie channel whatever things. So yeah, that's that. That's gonna do it for us, everybody. Big shout out, thank you to mybookie.com too. Before I forget that, don't forget sign up to mybookie.com. You still got plenty of time. Well, no, this is gonna come out tomorrow. Just say you still got plenty of time to get your bet in for this Pittsburgh game.
Nope.
Nope, you don't. Nope, sorry. We do, but you don't.
Well, you do. You just won't be hearing this until the future.
Yeah. But you can get your bets in for this weekend. There's no Thursday night game this week because it was supposed to be Baltimore, I think. Baltimore, Dallas. Does that sound right? It got moved. That was your Thursday night game, so there's no Thursday night football this week, but you can still get your bets in for Sunday. Go to mybookie.com. Use the promo code SarcasmPod when you sign up. It'll double your first deposit up to $1,000 and get you a $20 free play. That's free money. That's Liberty. And Coastal. Oh, you can also bet on Liberty and Coastal this weekend too.
They're playing each other.
Yeah. Oh shit. Bet the over. Don't take the spread. Bet the over. So if you're watching on YouTube, click subscribe. Give us a thumbs up. Hopefully we can redeem ourselves from the last episode with Vinny. If we still have listeners or subscribers, I don't know. Subscribe wherever you're at. If you're on Apple Podcasts, leave us 5 stars and write a review. That all helps our visibility and all that happy horse shit in there. You can find us on Instagram at Sarcasm Speaks Pod. We're on Twitter at Sarcasm_speaks and Facebook page is Sarcasm Speaks. Until next time, good night, everybody.